So, on here is a list of MPs who have got back to parents in some capacity with information on spaces in their area. We need to be really clear here that the local authorities are asking parents to contact the schools directly in lots of areas to see if there is a place. When the parents are saying there is no place to the local authority is saying prove it. The parents are like, well, I've just rung every single school in the area and there are no places, and the local authority are not accepting that. Now, we know why they're not accepting that, because that's Bridget's phrase, but what it's meaning is gross frustration for parents. I would have thought the burden of proof would be on the councils. I would have thought that it was up to them to prove that there are spaces, and that proof would come in giving a space to a child. But it's politics, doesn't run smooth, does it? Ben Spencer, Runnymede, doesn't like doing mid-year transfers, thinks it's a bad move, and from my information that I had last week, no spaces. MP Simon Lightwood, Wakefield, Year 4, no spaces. There is a space outside the catchment zone, but the council won't do transport. MP John Milne in West Sussex, just no spaces, full stop. MP David Mundell, no spaces, and the curriculum may vary. This is really interesting. He's in Dumfries and Clydesdale, and he's actually, advising parents that if you go from one school to another, you could be learning a totally different curriculum, and that, I think, is a key point. MP Keir Mather in York, no spaces. MP Gail Waller in Rutland. Well, we know there's no spaces in year 8 and 9. We don't. It's a moving feast there. So this is just our starters for 10. We're being given very conflicting advice here. We are being told that councils are meeting with schools on a Friday to discuss how many places they've got, yet councils are denying it and schools won't give the information out. We are having councils telling parents that they need to prove, if they've gone for a school that's outside of catchment area, they need to prove that at the time of application there were no places in their area. Well, I mean, that just defies any kind of logic, doesn't it? Why would you put your child 25 miles away when there was a place on your doorstep? So there is no policy. This is highlighting that there is no policy. Now, these are not all bad, nasty MPs. They're just reporting facts. They're saying we have no places. And it's not in their gift to give, is it? So why is there such a shortage of places mid-year? Well, because Bridget didn't do any kind of impact assessment. She didn't work out how many children would leave. She thought no one was going to leave. And it turns out that she was about 9,000 wrong in mid-year. So we know that children are leaving in their droves, and we know there is nowhere to put a lot of them. So we've got a massive educational crisis on our hands at the minute. We have either got homeschooling, we have got parents beg, borrow and stealing to try and keep their children in private education, or we have got children moving from school to school to school just to fill a place. So a lot of them are being given places, if they are getting one, at the Ofsted underachieving schools. I've already heard 2 stories of children being withdrawn from that because the environment was so challenging for them, they simply couldn't stay there. So it's a big fat mess. And I think, Bridget, the conclusion that I'm drawing from this is, and I know you are actually listening, you pretend you're not, but I know you are, and it's easier just to sort of say, oh, I didn't hear that, but I know you have heard it, so let's get that elephant out of the room. You need to address this. Like breakfast clubs, just press pause. At the minute, we don't need to make any actual main decisions at the minute. Let's just press pause. This policy is not coming in. I think breakfast clubs are 2026, so we can go with that for now if we need to. Stop. Because you have no places in your local councils to put the children that are having to leave private education. So let's stop, press the reset button, look at the information that we've gathered through our own impact assessment based on real life, and reassess.